Meanwhile, is happening on retail theft. Yesterday, the district attorney of Los Angeles County, Nathan Hochman, announced some new actions to combat the waves of thefts plaguing businesses across Southern California. A yellow sticker is involved, but there's a lot more to it than that. The district attorney, Nathan Hochman, back with us here for the Fox 11 News at 6. Good to see you again.
And you as well.
So we'll talk about the retail theft in a moment, but I just want to get you to weigh in on the story that Haley just talked about. Obviously, you may not know all the specifics of that particular intersection, but this issue of fires is a huge thing. We see fires started every single day by homeless people here. What are you doing about it?
You know, you're absolutely right. We estimate about a third of the fires that are illegally set are being set by the homeless population. So we have a zero tolerance policy for what amounts to either arson or a whole variety of different types of illegal violations. We work with law enforcement, and we've sent the message to law enforcement that if in the last 4 years you've held off conducting any arrests or investigation of this because these cases weren't being prosecuted, we'll prosecute those cases. We ask the public to do the same. If you come across a situation like that, if you want to take video, give the video. Don't stop it yourself, but send the video into law enforcement, make the report, and we'll do our best to follow up on it.
Have you seen many prosecutions on that front? Because I know we talked the other night with an LAPD captain who said it's very hard to even figure out who's starting these sometimes.
Interestingly, it is hard to figure it out, but turned out during the wildfire situation, when these fires were being set in communities like Brentwood, Azusa, Irwindale, people actually got us the video. They got law enforcement there actually as the fire was being committed. They could find the person who committed the fire and bring them to justice. So we're hoping, again, in each one of these situations, we have that type of response. And if that response reaches the DA's office, we're going to prosecute.
The message being before they may have let a lot of this stuff go, but we're not letting it go anymore. And a similar message on retail theft. This is something that you really ran on. And you also ran supporting this idea of Prop 36, which is making things tougher in terms of some of these retail thefts. You were at the 7-Eleven yesterday, which has sort of an interesting story that sort of explains this concept. What happened at this 7-Eleven?
So this 7-Eleven, which is located at Olympic and La Cienega in West Los Angeles, it's owned by an individual family. Every 7-Eleven franchise is not corporate owned. They're actually owned by individual families who are being effectively terrorized by people coming in every single day. And often it was the same person taking whatever they want, not paying for it, knowing that law enforcement in the past could do very little. Mm-hmm. They didn't even want to file an insurance claim because they would lose their insurance policy. So what's happened with Proposition 36 is that it's targeted the repeat chronic offenders, people with 2 convictions already for theft, and now they're going ahead and doing it again. That particular situation, we arrested someone named Corey Somerville, who's been alleged in the complaint to commit 12 different felony violations in 2025 alone.
Wow. Where
he was coming into this 7-Eleven, grabbing whatever he wants, not paying for it, and doing it sometimes multiple times in a day. So Proposition 36 has given us the ability to bring felony charges, to actually hold him much more accountable for his actions, and to sort of emphasize that message, we came up with a window sticker, a 6x6-inch window clinger that goes to a store's window that says very simply, warning, this is a protected business. Thieves will be prosecuted by the Retail Theft Task Force, and a number to call.
And so people can get that sticker?
Yes, they can get that sticker from either business associations, from your police departments. They're going to start to be available this Friday.
And so how is Prop 36 actually working? We have some numbers at this point?
We do. We have over 1,000, since December 18th of 2024 when it went live, we have over 1,000 Proposition 36 felony arrests.
Wow.
Really, again, you can't qualify for this arrest unless you have 2 prior theft convictions. And so what it's doing, it's removing these chronic thieves from the drawing board, essentially. These thieves that have been particularly terrorizing these local stores, and again, making it so the people didn't want to go in these stores. Because you see these people stealing, you're worried about what will happen, so you don't come in. So these stores have suffered, the communities have suffered, the quality of life has suffered, and we're doing our best to reverse that trend.
Governor Newsom put out his budget proposal yesterday. He was not a fan of Prop 36. a lot of the Democratic leaders in the legislature were not fans of Prop 36. What they argued last October was that there's no funding mechanism for Prop 36. So this is going to be a big unfunded mandate. Voters overwhelmingly supported it. 70% of voters, including a whole lot of Democrats who voted for Newsom, voted against him on this. Now Newsom is saying there's still no funding mechanism and we're out of money, so I'm not going to fund it. So good luck. All those county leaders that were in support of this, like you, figure out the money, you fund it yourself. What's your response to that, and what does that mean for LA County?
The response is that I hope that Governor Newsom and the state legislature can finally put politics to the side and deal with a real issue that affects communities. In this case, it happens to be retail theft and illegal drug use. Because on retail theft, again, we can imprison these folks, they can get a felony, we can even get them in diversion programs where appropriate. But on the illegal drug use side, again, you have 2 or more convictions for illegal drug use, meth, heroin, fentanyl. On that third one, you were supposed to get a court-ordered rehab program. But if we don't have the beds, and we don't have the beds here, they've been seeking that money from the state and basically saying, look, it's a state law. It was passed by actually the voters, not the state legislature. We didn't need the governor to sign this one because the voters decided to do them themselves. But if you don't want to do your job to actually make this successful, then the voters at some point will have their say again. It usually is at the ballot box. And the people who want to stand in the way of making this a success, I don't think it'll bode well for their electoral future.
Well, and obviously there's going to be a new governor no matter what because he's termed out. Real quickly, we just were at this public safety town hall a couple nights ago. I was there with you, interviewing you on stage, also talked to the city attorney, council member Yaroslavsky was there, a captain from the LAPD. And I asked everybody what was the biggest obstacle for public safety, and all of you had some version of mental health. This idea that there is not enough money, no places to take people, and not enough money no way to force them into it. How do you see the mental health challenge right now?
The mental health challenge in this county is enormous. Right now, the LA County jails are the largest mental health facility in probably the entire United States. They're the largest homeless shelter. They have over 4,000 of the 12,500 inmates tonight are either homeless, with serious mental illnesses, drug addictions, or both. They're in an antiquated facility. These facilities are either 30 to 60 years old. They mostly need to either be torn down or completely rebuilt. The plans were actually almost on the ready to effectuate in 2020 when the Board of Supervisors had a political change. They went with a Care First, Jails Last idea. They had to pay a $70 million breakup fee to the contractor, but the prison, the modern mental health facility that Norway would actually be jealous of today, that should be in downtown LA, does not exist. There is nothing on the drawing board, and this is not a can I'm going to kick down the road any further. If we don't get on building state-of-the-art mental health facilities to get the true treatment for our mentally ill population, then we are facing a disaster in the years to come.
All right. On that hopeful note, Nathan Hochman, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you sharing your perspective.